Soul Shine. Let me see what's up with the internet. All right. We are live on Insta. We are live YouTube. Hi, babes. Guys, lovelies, babes, ladies, what are we doing? All right. Do I choose a song or do you guys want to choose a song? What's up, Juliana? Hi, Kay from Vancouver. Yes, girl. What's up? What's up, Tiffany? Natalie. What's up, love? I see Christy. Who wants to choose a song for me? I can choose one. Or whoever writes in the very first thing, I will type it in. And if it happens in the next 5 seconds, otherwise, we might be jamming out on my girl, Alicia. That golden dance song. Do you mean gold? Leave it to you, Juliana. Halo by Beyonce. Juliana, do you mean, yep, the skating video. Girl, I got you. I got you. That's Chet Faker, baby. All right. That's a good choice. I love Beyonce. We all love Beyonce. But Chet Faker. I was just listening to that like, I don't know, last week. All right. What do we got? What do we got? Gold, official video. Internet, a minute. Are we still in Mercury retrograde, you guys? Can you guys see me okay? Give some yeses. Katie, give some yeses if you can see me, because there it is. There it is. Good choice. Yes, hearts. Okay, and yes, you can hear me and see me. Solid.
You gotta know I'm feeling love, made it go.
Yes.
I never loved another one, another
yes,
you.
Julia.
It's gotta be
good
love.
choice.
You gotta know I'm feeling love.
Chet Baker.
You gotta know.
All right, while that's happening, writing questions, guys. What we're talking about.
Another soul to be my warden.
Solid, solid.
Of anything there that's made of gold. Another you.
What are we talking about?
With the flick of the hair, it can make you old.
Katie. Woo! Ooh, I want to hear that. I want to hear that story.
Dig my soul in.
Soulful sunshine.
That keeps me so.
Christmas, is boundaries still a high topic this week? We still on boundaries? Feels like that's been like 2 weeks. Nothing wrong with it. Healthy boundaries, very important. Very important.
Is all that remains before it's begun.
One more time, and then we'll get started.
You gotta know I'm feeling love, made it go. I'll never love another one. Another you.
New moon, yep, set intentions.
You gotta know I'm feeling love.
Natasha, hi love. What's up, Infinite Soul 333? Yes.
Another you. It's gotta be love.
Love and life. You like my sweater? My mama found this sweater for me. I think Mama's on. She found this sweater for me because she knows that I like big, comfy, white sweaters. So that is straight up from Mama. All right, let's get started. Now that we had our little jam out. Yes, the video on that song is like super dope. It makes me want to like learn how to roller skate again. I haven't done that since ever. Junior high, something like that. I don't know. YouTube is cracking out. What's up with the internet, you guys? What's going on? You love grandpa sweaters. Yes. This is like Yeah, this is straight up kind of like a granny sweater, right? Because it's big and it's comfy and it's just like bellowy and it's just like, and it's going to start raining here. So this is like all comfy sweater time. What's the last card of the deck? Like right now? We'll pull it. Last card of the deck. We won't turn it over till the end. All right, loves. Let's get started. Welcome to Soul Circle. My name is Sarah Delane, the Conscious Lifestylist. We do this every Tuesday where I answer your questions on relationships, conscious living, spiritual awakening, yada, yada, yada. And we do Oracle. We haven't been doing ruins. Give some hearts if you guys want me to do some ruins. I am feeling hyper psychic tonight / intuitive. I don't always like the word psychic. I can't tell if it's like because I'm doing a water fast today. So I'm like starving. And I'm either lightheaded or psychic as fuck. I can't tell. They both feel a little airy. And perfect. Can we talk about gut health? Perfect. Why not? Let's talk about gut health. Water fasts are great for that. No, but I did hopped a little fun trip to Vegas, went to go see Magic Mike. Fucking amazing. Thanks to shout out to my girl, Maris, for making that happen. She's like friends with like a bunch of the dancers and stuff. So we got treated amazing. And the show is so funny. It was the last night that they were doing it in Vegas at the Hard Rock, but they're going to come back like in March or something. So if you guys could ever, it is so not what you think. It is not like cheesy, whatever. I don't know what you think, but so funny. It's so fun. Absolute blast. That being said, when you're traveling and there's like just recirculated air in the airplanes and the casinos and just like, I'm not actually a huge fan of Vegas. Not at all. Like EMF sensitive. I came back with a headache. But that being said, doing like a 1-day water fast will reboot your immune system. So do some research on water fasting. If you do it for 3 days, it's supposed to totally reset your like gut health. I have not been brave enough to do it for 3 days because mama gets hangry sometimes. So I'm good right now. I've literally only had coffee, a little bit of coffee, water. I put a little bit of Himalayan salt in my water, just a couple little granules, and bone broth. So that's all I've had all day. And my stomach is like, there's nothing in me, but thank you. So other than that, I don't know, some other basics on gut health. I feel like, like looking at people who really do like biohacking for that, right? Yes, heavy metal detox. So I do add that whenever I do a water fast, I add in stuff that'll detox heavy metals and parasites because it's kind of like your body is just like, cool, let's just do like a refresh kind of cleanse thing. Guess I could always Google it, but I'd rather love you, girl. Yeah, I know. And I will be doing, right, the heavy metal detox and all that stuff because you guys do ask about that a lot. So I'm prepping out all the content that I want to be making from you guys. And again, always like send me messages on, if there's something you want me to make videos about and all that. I am always open to hearing because I am prepping all the content to roll out. Lots of fun stuff. Okay. What to take with us in the new year and what to leave behind. Fucking whatever you want. Yes, new moons are really good for setting new intentions. Obviously, we have the new year coming up, right? But you don't have to wait until every new year to be doing it, right? You can do it every month. That's what the whole energy around new moon. I plan everything around a new moon. Everything. Future visioning is super, I don't know, it's coming up a lot in my field and it's super key for like knowing where you want to go. If you don't create that future vision, you're not going to know where you want to go, right? It's one of the reasons why you keep getting stuck, right? The other reason why you keep getting stuck is because you're resenting whatever has happened in the past. Shout out to my mama. We were diving into that conversation, kind of like analyzing, looking at all the different perspectives on that. Mama's a little genius when it comes to that sort of stuff. So brainstorming all of that with her is super fun, right? And we were like, oh, right. Two of the main reasons why you get stuck or stay stuck. Either haven't created a future vision for yourself that you can move into, that you can like align with and integrate with, right? That future version of you and the future goals, let's say, if you want to, or outline. And then if you're focusing on whatever's happened in the past and you're still in resentment or anger or resignation about whatever's happened in the past. Two issues, if you will, as to what keeps us stuck and not moving into the future. Sarah Ford, love. You need to book another site. Let's do it, girl. Let's do it. Okay. What do we got? 13, what? Infinite Soul 333. What else do we got, guys? What are our questions? Interesting. Okay, so we were talking about family and energy and differences in energies. Yeah, around the holidays. Okay, how to prepare and wind down from it. You guys are awesome. It's like what? You need like an incubator, like to go in and prep for family, and then you're gonna go spend the time with family, and then you need like an incubation time period to like detox out from family. You guys are awesome. All right, first and foremost, give your family a little love. Hold them in a space of compassion, even the ones that annoy you. Everybody's only operating from the programs that they have, right? So we talk a lot about subconscious programming, and that's however it is that they're viewing the world, right? Everybody has like a filter, right? Think of it as like glasses. Think of those cool like chakra glasses, right? Where you have like pink ones and purple ones, right? And so whatever that color is that they're filtering through those glasses is however they're seeing the world. Some people have a little bit more murky sunglasses. Some people it's like rose colored and everything is like blissful and they can't even see the shadow sides. Some people it's just seeing red all the time and it's like intense and maybe even angry or whatever, right? So just consider that everybody has their own glasses. And that comes from the emotional events that they've been through their life. That comes from all the different meanings that they've made about those emotional events that they've had in their life that are different than yours. You have emotional events that you've been through and the meanings that you've made about it. And that's part of your filter, whatever glasses that you're wearing, right? So dealing with people is almost like getting into their point of view, being able to see through their glasses and be like, wow, if they're saying whatever it is that they're saying that might be triggering you or just irritating the fuck out of you or whatever, be like, what glasses would they have to be wearing? Like what colors would they have to be seeing through in order to be speaking whatever it is that they're saying, right? And if you can get into that space of like being curious, you can get into the space of compassion and curiosity, then you can almost make it like a game where you're just observing all the different glasses and all the different colors of glasses that people are wearing. And if you turn it into that, then it won't, there's a higher possibility that it can be an adventure rather than something that like feels like drudging through the mud that you have to deal with and then go through a detox before and after, right? So like, yes, hearts. So turning it into a game of observing and being like, wow, what would they have to be thinking about their life? What would they have to be thinking about people? How would they have to be viewing? What color would they have to be seeing through, right? Maybe it's like a murky shit brown color. I don't know, in which case just have a little compassion that they are wearing glasses that like all they see is like murky shit brown. That can't be fun. That can't be exciting for like anybody. And if you can get into that space then have compassion for them. Maybe you can even say, hey, I wonder what it would be like if something looked this way, right? Like you get to play with it in whatever way that you want to, but not taking it on, as if it's related to you. Because even if, I'm going to say, it's like, bear with me, even if they're speaking to you, even if they're saying something not so fun to you, remember that you're the reflection of them seeing through shit brown glasses. So it's not actually about you. Whatever they're speaking is going through their glasses color filter from their personal experiences that have nothing to do with you. It has to do with their past experiences. So they're still seeing through the lens of their past. If you can take on seeing through the lens of being present and taking on seeing through the lens of the future, right? Then you're just at a different perspective. You're like, cool, I can wear pink glasses, I can wear red glasses, I can wear purple glasses, I can wear whatever I want to, right? And you can recognize that somebody is just wearing a colored glasses and they're speaking through those colored glasses. That's all. And it, as best as you can, not take it personal because it's not about you. Even if that person, again, is very, very close to you, and even if they happen to be saying your name in the sentence. Love that. Yes. Target. Nailed it. Great. Not taking it on. Exactly. Not taking it personal to heart. Exactly. It's kind of like if somebody throws a ball your way, this goes for all my empaths, because I believe everybody also is empathic. But for those of you that are truly in tune with being an empath and are like, oh my God, I take on people's shit all the time, right? Imagine it being like somebody's throwing a ball your way. You're having a conversation, you're wearing your color glasses, they're wearing their color glasses, and they create a little ball of energy that's the color of their glasses, shit brown, and now they're going to try to throw it at you. And they're going to throw it at you to see if you catch it. Most of us are like, oh my God, something's getting thrown at us, and we either catch it, or some of you might strategically like get out of the way, or some of you might just get hit with it. And now it's just like, what? I just got hit with somebody's energy ball, right? If you can remember that they are trying to throw it at you to see if you're going to catch it or pick it up, you don't have to catch it or pick it up. You don't have to catch it, whatever it is. That is, as an empath, that's like the right that I believe that we sometimes forget. Give some hearts if you resonate with kind of, it's like you forget that. You just sort of take on everything. You're like, I'm an empath. I'm a sponge. I'm supposed to take on everything. No, it doesn't mean that. You don't have to take on everything. You don't have to take on anything. You can completely witness it and observe it and completely dodge it, or let it pass through you and be like, okay, that was unfortunate. So remember, whatever it is, they're going to try to throw it at you, right? Because they're trying to play whatever game of interacting, relating, that is through their filtered colored glasses. However they're trying to play and relate that out with you. You don't have to play that game. You don't have to play their game. You can witness it and be like, that's a cool game. I don't want to play that game. That's like a shit brown game. I don't really want to play that. I feel like it's important to say that not every family member is going to try to play the shit brown game. I feel like I need to just add that in there, right? But since we were talking on how to deal with people, right, we might be assuming that there's a lot of people who might be trying to see through that lens or play that kind of game, right? So remember that no matter what the game is, no matter what the color of the glasses are, you get to choose as to whether you're going to play or not. That's bottom line. So you don't have to pick it up, you don't have to take it on, and you don't have to play. The only time that we feel like we need to engage in that is if we get triggered by something. And the only time that we're going to get triggered by something is if you made it mean something about you when it's not about you. Does that resonate? Give some hearts if that resonates. So anybody can say anything, they can do anything, and it's only going to trigger you. It doesn't have to trigger you. Yes, hearts. Okay, cool. Cool. Yes, lots of hearts. Okay, great. Right? So it doesn't have to trigger you. You don't have to align to it. If it's not about you, if you're not making it mean something about you, then it won't have to trigger you. If you are getting triggered, that means you're making it mean something about you, right? 1 + 1 equals make it mean about you. Okay. Okay. Yes, that's exactly what I say. It's your free will as an empath to not engage in the icky brown. Exactly. But like I said, right? If we sometimes forget that, because as empaths, it's like, oh, we're just taking on everything, then we forget. We need to remind ourselves that you don't have to, that your free will is to choose. Whether you resonate with being an empath or not, right? So anybody, our free will is choice. All of your power is in choice. If you don't feel like you have a choice, that's when you feel like you don't have power. So create more choice for yourself, gain more personal power. Not egoic, personal power, right? Resonating? Yes, yes, yes. Good. Okay. Anything else when it comes to family around the holidays? Pretty sure, I'll take that. Pretty sure that that goes for families, friends, romantic business relationships, all kinds of relationships anytime, right? It's just, it's very interesting that we bring more attention to it around the holidays because it just means that we're in a container of more energy of those people and more colored glasses in one setting. Sometimes it's just like, oh, 1 or 2 family members or friends or whatever, right? But this is something, like I said, to remember in whatever relationship you're in. Doesn't matter. It's just getting everybody together in one room. Now you're just like, okay, there's like a rainbow of glasses. And everybody's looking at you through their lens and colors, and you're looking at them through your lens and colors. So remember, as much as we're pointing the finger out, like you got to be able to be like, all right, what am I seeing? So if you're stepping into a situation expecting that family dynamics is going to be shit brown, you will create that because those are the glasses that you're going in with. Right? All right, what else do we got? A container of a shit ton of energy can be draining, and if you're energy sensitive, it can, take your power back in that sentence. Like, let's keep it real. If something is draining your energy, why is that? If you have free will to choose whether you pick up the ball, if it takes energy to pick up somebody else's ball that they threw at you, that will drain your energy. Don't pick it up and it won't drain your energy. So if you're getting energy drains from that situation, it means that you're picking up balls that you don't need to be picking up. You're taking on the energy that you didn't check first and say, oh, I don't need to take on that energy. Like, that's not mine. I mean, yeah. Right? Just like literally watch it as if you could see imaginary energy flowing throughout the room and somebody tries to talk to you. Katie, you're hilarious. Just a light balls. Great. Awesome. Enjoy the adventure. Enjoy the adventure with your family. Just saying, right? Girl, you got your own balls too. Okay. So remember, that is just a game. Oh God, guys, are we keeping it PG over here or what? YouTube has this thing now where it's like, is your content acceptable for children? And every single time I'm like, no, I don't think it is, because I don't know what I'm going to say. And I don't know what you guys are going to say. And there's no filter on Soul Circle anyways. So not acceptable for children under the age of 18. Okay. What was I saying? We're talking about balls. Great. Basically, just remember that it's all a game. And if you're picking up a bunch of stuff, then put it down. Stop picking it up. If it's draining your energy, that's on you. Take your power back. Stop blaming it on other people, right? Let's keep it real and keep it honest. Stop blaming it on other people. You give all your power away that way. You're like, oh, they're so annoying. Oh, they're in a bad mood. Oh my God, they're sucking my energy. They're not going to suck your energy if you don't let them be an energy suck to your energy. If you don't let them throw a ball your way and then you pick it up like, oh, their energy is so draining. You just picked up that ball. Just picked it up. So that's cool. Check yourself on it. Stop, drop, and love that shit. Drop the ball. Be like, I don't really want to think about that. I don't really want to align with that person as that way. Again, how are you going to go into your family dynamic? Or I should say, what colored glasses are you going to go into your family dynamic with? Set that tone first, and that will set the tone for your whole relating engagement with them. And the balls. My balls are a source of infinite youth. That's awesome. Congratulations. Bravo. Okay, amen. Checking on myself on this a lot lately and trying to change how I react. Girl, you have the tools for that. Use the triangle. That's power pyramid all day, all day. Okay. Golden glasses. Yes, exactly. Chet Faker knows what's up. Juliana, you called it. You asked for the song. You know what's up. Okay, observer mode. Exactly. If you're not in observer, then you're making something mean, whatever. Hashtag no filter. Exactly. Oh my God. I'm not even going to address those comments right now. I love you guys. Love this example so much. Third grade perfection. Third grade perfection. What does that mean? I don't know what that means, but third grade perfect, like basics. It is. But again, we need reminders, especially if you're in the moment of a family member or any relationship that then is triggering you in that moment. It's harder. It's harder to remember, right? Again, we need to check our language on that. But being real and being human, you're like, okay, it's going to take like a second because you're already triggered with something or you're already having an emotional reaction to something, right? So hence, stop, drop, love, stop whatever it is that you're feeling, drop into your heart, into the present, and then choose the emotion that you want. In order to choose the emotion that you want, you have to be willing to give up the emotion that is currently creating upset in you. In order to choose the emotion you want, you have to be willing to give up the negative emotion that is causing the upset in you about whatever the situation or the relationship dynamic is that you were in. You have to be willing to give it up. You have to be willing to give it up. Otherwise, you can't move into the next if you're not willing to give up one, right? It's like, imagine you're holding a bunch of balls and in order to and they're too heavy. So in order to move forward, you have to drop them. You can't move forward. If they're too heavy, you have to drop them. What are you willing to give up? Okay. Hi, Ksenia, baby. Beautiful, pretty girl yourself. All right. What else do we got? Did we cover family? Did we cover family? and friends and romantic relation? Did we cover everybody? I'm pretty sure we covered everybody. We covered triggering. That can go along with healthy boundaries, right? Juliana, was it you that was asking about healthy boundaries before, talking about healthy boundaries? That's healthy boundaries. You don't have to play along. One of the reasons why we overstep our healthy boundaries is because we've been telling our subconscious that we don't trust ourselves enough times, because we keep saying that we're going to stick to something and then like making an excuse for why it's okay or overstepping or whatever, so that you keep reaffirming to your subconscious mind that you don't trust yourself. And so then when it goes to create another healthy boundary, it's like, oh God, I don't know if I can keep that one. So you keep putting yourself into that same loop, right? You keep putting yourself into the same loop. If you're making whatever mean, if you're seeing through a filter that isn't supportive to that relationship dynamic, right? Does that make sense? Give some hearts on that. Juliana, scroll up to what, baby? Can you write in whatever it was that you want me to scroll up for? Yeah. You put in a question about mind running a mile a minute. Can you type it out real quick and I'll stay at the bottom and I'll read it right now, rather than having me scroll up through all the comments. I appreciate you. Thank you, baby. Isn't our negative emotions like the ego? Oh, we'll talk about that. Where we are in a fear mode, isn't negative emotions like the ego where we are in fear mode? There's a potential that you're collapsing two separate thoughts. So I'm going to say a little bit yes and more than a little bit no. And Juliana, yes, I'm looking out for your question, babe. So I'll get to that after this one. Okay, so negative emotions and ego can be synonymous. Okay. We need to pick this apart, right? Because there's like 3 different things that you're asking about, and they're kind of related because, of course, everything within us is all related anyways, right? But in order to understand, we want to kind of like pick them apart and explain each one of them separately. So ego, first and foremost. Many of you have heard me say this so many times before. I'm going to say it again. Please stop talking about your ego like it is something negative, like it is bad and wrong, like you need to kill the ego, get rid of the ego, drop the ego, whatever. All of that needs to go. I know many people talk about it, killing the ego. I am not a fan. So see if it resonates for you, of course, right? And your ego is a part of you. So one, you're never, ever, ever, ever going to be able to kill that part of you or get rid of that part of you. And we're not talking about egoic. You have a lower ego. If we really wanted to dissect it, you have a lower ego and you have a higher ego. Part of your higher ego is what keeps you getting up in the morning. Let's just be real about that. Part of your lower ego is more related to a subconscious. I like to relate it to your inner child, and based on that inner child, a subconscious, yes, fear of wanting to keep you in the perceived safety zone of the perceived identity that you've created based on the subconscious, societal, generational, familial protection programs and patterns that you have learned and taken on like a ball. That being said, negative emotions aren't always like the ego, right? Like those negative emotions can be in the realm of the inner child ego version that wants to stay safe, right? And keep you like in that, I call it a false identity. But you can have negative emotions about a future self. You can totally have negative emotions about a future self. So it doesn't always necessarily relate to it doesn't always necessarily relate to the ego in, I want to make sure I'm explaining this in like, because it's so, like I said, there's so many pieces. It's like a diamond. Like there's so many different facets to all of it, right? Give some hearts if this is resonating, if this is making sense for you guys so far, right? Basically, your negative emotions, emotion is energy in motion. You can shift into the emotion that you want if you give up the old emotion. If you have a belief around that emotion, and if it's related and tied to that lower sense of your ego, then yes, that will keep the loop happening. But you can also move out of that by aligning to the positive emotion that you do want, that sure, you could say is outside of that lower ego. Okay, cool. We're getting hearts on that, right? So I hope I'm kind of explaining it, because again, like I said, like there's so many facets to it. But I don't want to say that the emotions are like our ego, because they're like two things being in relationship together, right? It's not one is like the other. It's like if the lower ego is experiencing or being in a state of fear mode, or if you're in resistance to moving into a higher version of yourself, or in resistance to any other part of yourself, that might generate some negative emotions. Negative emotions are also related to past emotional experiences, right? Which then have been triggered or continue to trigger based on the ego. But the ego is the thing telling you what's happened in that experience, that is then how you're relating to it. Fuck, that was like a lot. Did that make sense? Explain that. I feel like I need a PowerPoint presentation to break this down. Give some hearts if that related, right? I just don't want you to say, I don't want you to relate negative emotions to then an ego, because you can shift in and out of a state of your ego, just like you can shift in and out of states of emotions. But if you collapse them together, then yes, we got hearts. Then if you collapse them together, then it's like they're one and they're unified. And so you're going to treat them as one, when we really need to be able to separate so that you can work with them and identify them separately. Cool. All right, Juliana, where's your question? You put a question about mind running a mile a minute. Let me see. So many ideas, not knowing where to start. So many things you want to do, so many visions. Okay. You're stuck in the future, basically. Great awareness. Awesome. Love that. Give some hearts. Who else feels like they're either stuck in the future or stuck in the past? Because this can relate to both. Over things that haven't happened yet or maybe never will. Ooh, girl. Okay. You're awesome. Love you. All right. Hang on. Was that all of it? Okay. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. That's where you're learning how to break free from that. Okay, great. So that was related to the ego and the negative emotions. Okay. Badass. We got that. And again, there's a lot, and I always say, right, we try to keep it as general as possible on Soul Circle, but when we're really wanting to decipher how those subconscious programs are, you know, that's where doing the like private one-on-one sessions and really diving into that is going to get that for each person individually and uniquely to how that's going to show up or is showing up for you and your life, right? So again, I try to do my best to clarify or to, you know, generalize and clarify for the general. But of course, each individual person is totally different. You've had different experiences. Everybody's had different, you know, emotional events, and then what those subconscious programs are and shifting and releasing them. Usually the tools are about the same, but identifying, everybody wants to be able to understand, right? And then once you understand, it's like, cool, now what do I do? How do I like apply that? So understanding is key so that we can bring sort of that subconscious, right, those programs into the front view, understand why they're there, how they're working, why they've been doing the things that they've been doing, why our life is the way that it is. And when you can go from there, then you can now be the conscious creator of your reality and shift through that using the proper tools. Okay, so basically, you're stuck in the future. So this is for Juliana. Give some hearts if you guys feel like you're either stuck in the past or in the future, and you're stuck with things that haven't happened or maybe never will. Okay, so one, I love that you have jumped into the future, right? Part of, again, as I was saying when we first got on, creating your future vision is so key to moving yourself out of stuck. And you could still be relating to past, something you're either in resignation or resentment about from your past that could be keeping you stuck, right? So as much as you're like, okay, I'm focused on the future, have you, yes, hearts, have you looked into the past or observed yourself in this moment? This goes for everybody. Have you taken a moment to observe yourself and where you're operating, where your choices are operating from? Is it operating from a future version of yourself that you're afraid to step into, or is it operating from a past self that you're still sort of in resentment or regret potentially of what something that's happened in the past, right? So that's first and foremost. You got to know not just where you are. We all talk about being present. Being present's great, of course, but you can be present and be looking in the wrong direction. You can be present and still be looking in your past. It happens all the time. So we have to know which way we're looking, because that's going to determine which way you're going. So I love that you say you believe that you're stuck in the future for things that haven't happened or maybe never will. So why do you believe? Give some hearts if you guys are all resonating with this, right? If you've had like a future vision and you're like, oh, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Why do you believe that that's never going to happen? What is the conversation in your mind that is having you believe that that's never going to happen? Because it's in your future. Yes, we could go into timeline and understanding like quantum dynamics of time doesn't exist and time is also happening all at the same time. And right, like, so we could break all of that down on a quantum level. And where you are, where your physical body is, and your mind is projecting you into something that you believe is not going to take place. Why do you believe that it's not going to take place? What are you making it mean that you believe this thing isn't going to happen? Because you're the only one who can actually make something happen. So there's a certain level of resistance. It's the only thing. If you're here and you have this version of you in the future, if for whatever reason you don't think that that's going to happen, it means that there is some level of resistance that you have to stepping into that future version of yourself. It's like a dial. It's tuning you to that vibration. So you can visualize it. You can align to it emotionally, right? A lot of the girls in Power Becoming, you know your emotional alignment. You create the vision of it. You create the emotional alignment to it, right? You create a physical anchor to it. All of that is wonderful. If you're not taking action around it, your behavior is what creates your reality. So on some level, how is your current behavior in contradiction to the behavior of that future version of you? How is your current behavior in contradiction to the behavior that future version of you would need to be doing in order to achieve whatever those things are that you believe that you're not going to achieve? Because I'm going to just venture to say, if you don't think that you're going to achieve them, it's literally just because your behavior isn't matching the belief. There's a contradiction there, right? Or the desire, excuse me. The behavior is not matching the desire or the vision. Your behavior and your vision have to be synonymous in order to be the conscious creator of your reality, because otherwise you're just meditating and you're daydreaming. And that's super great, but it's like that much of the whole equation. So yes, you're like, okay, our vision boards, is that a thing that I think is beneficial? 100%. But vision boards, so let's break down the subconscious alignment to vision boards. All vision boards are really doing is having your subconscious remember the things that you're desiring, right? Because our subconscious is taking in thousands of bits of information that we are not conscious that we are. We can only process a fraction of those bits of information, right? So as you're walking by, even if you're not consciously staring at your vision board and be like, oh, look at that car that I want in that house and that boyfriend or that, like, right? All those things, materialistic, right? Or whatever your goals are that are on your vision board. If you're not consciously staring at that, let's say you just walk by it every single day. You're walking by, your subconscious is still picking it up. So that goes into your subconscious and says, oh, those were all the things that I wanted to create, right? Or align to or whatever. But then if your behavior, if your day-to-day behavior, that's why like discipline is so important, because if your day-to-day behavior is not matching what will have you achieve those things, or the version of you that is in alignment to achieving those things, whatever it is, then it won't come to fruition. It won't manifest. So vision boards are really great, but if they just stay on your wall and you don't actually align to the emotional alignment, the physical alignment, the behavioral alignment that will have you achieve those, then nothing will ever get done. And it may as well just be a pretty picture on a board. And it's going to start irritating your subconscious, because you're going to walk by it every single day and your subconscious is going to be like, oh, those things I wanted, those things I wanted. But your behavior is in contradiction to it. So that will create more tension, anxiety, and a feeling of stuck. It's because you're looking at something and not following through behaviorally. So they're not synonymous, right? It's like having one frequency that's going like this and another frequency that's going like this. God, Sarah, you can't do that at the same time. You can do a lot of things great, but moving one hand fast and one hand slow is at the same time is not one of them. Okay, so it's like one frequency moving really fast and then one moving really slow. Okay, there's only going to be a couple times, if that's a wave, here's another visual. If that's a wave, if this one's moving really fast, like a wave, and this one's moving really slow, like a wave, there's only going to be a few times that those actually connect, right? The cross points. You guys following on that one? However, if you have two waves that are moving synonymous, then they connect the whole time, because there's no separation between the wave. So if we can start looking at everything as being in vibrational alignment, it's a subtle, you can't see it, but it's a feeling, it's a sensation. If your behavior matches this energy wave, as your thoughts and visions and ideas are this wave, and they're both moving at the same pace and the same vibration, and they're in sync. We talk about being in sync with the universe. So you set out a thought, and that thought is moving a mile a minute. And the universe is like, cool, I just picked up a thought. Great. I'm going to bring all the opportunities to her. But if you're not moving a mile a minute or at the pace of that thought, by the time it hits you, if you're not ready for it, it's going to pass you by. And it's like, it's just not going to align. You're going to have to wait until it goes back around. Hashtag aligned AF. Exactly. Yay, Katie. We got new hashtags. Yes. Hearts on that. Okay, cool. Keyword, I said follow through. Okay, cool. Did I say that? Awesome. I love that. That's whatever I said, just take for whatever, because hashtag no filter. Good. Juliana, so you got it. And does this resonate with everybody? Can everybody kind of like get some, like how this can apply for you, and no matter what it is that you're wanting to do, right? Julian, I'm a completely different person future-wise. Beautiful. Great. Literally, I was just having this conversation. You are seeing your what I call future fating, right? You're in your... See, sometimes the channel of information moves faster than my mouth. So I have to sync it up. Okay. You're a completely different person future-wise. Yes, you're future fading. You're creating that future version, or excuse me, you're visualizing or can see. You're letting the inspiration version of you bring in that inspiration of what the future version of you completely different than you, then you actually have to match those things up. So in order for you to align with her, it's releasing the hold that you have on the identity version of you that you've taken on from your past experiences. So again, what are you willing to give up in order to step into the version of you that you desire? That's where using the tools to shifting out, because those are all subconscious programs, the false identity, as I call it, so that you can shift into the future identity that feels more aligned with the inspiration coming from the higher self that you're wanting to create, that then can do all the things that you're wanting to create. It's literally, that's why it's power of becoming. Who do you have to become in order to have the things that is on your vision board? Who do you have to become in order to have the relationships that you would like to have? If you're going to be somebody who wants it, like no judgment for anybody in this room, right? But if let's take anybody in general, okay? If you're like, oh my God, I want the amazing job and the amazing relationships, and you can daydream all about that. But if you're then sitting like a lazy bum on a couch, not taking action around it, then those two things are going to be in conflict. But sure, your inspiration is like, oh my God, it's a totally different person. Has this amazing, beautiful, passionate relationships, has an amazing, job and living the life that you want. Who do you have to become in order to have that? Who do you have to become in order to achieve that? What behavior do you have to shift in your current behavior in order to align with the behavior of the future version of you that would be achieving those things that are on your list? Right? Fuck yes. Bam. Okay. That's all does that answer the question? Get it, girl. And why have we not worked together yet? You want this? What version of you? I'm not saying that to pressure you or anything like that. Do it when you're ready, but then there is no ready, right? It's what game are you up to playing in order to having the life that you want? You ready to really let go of all of that false identity, right? The one that you've been aligning with, the one that you believe is your true identity, that's not the highest, truest version. It's not the real you. It's the program version of you. So when are you ready to let that go so that then you can actually step in? This goes for everybody. So you can step into having the life, what do you want 2020 to look like? You want it to be a repeat? 2019? Oh God. Right? Or 2018? Nobody wants a repeat of 2018. Yeah. Depending, right? We got positives and we got pluses and minuses on that. And it's literally when do you want to align that? And in order to align to that, what layers of your false identity are you up to releasing in order for you to, it's not it's we say stepping into that future version of you, but it's really just you aligning and embodying and channeling your highest self, because you already are it. Everybody is already that highest version, but we have these barriers and these blocks and these programs that are just in the way of that. So it's about removing those so then you can fully embody that and bring all of that in, AKA stepping into it. Cool. Let's pull some cards. Okay, so whoever said pull the last card, what you want wants you. What you want is also wanting you. So your future version of you is just as excited about you stepping into that version as you are viewing that version of you and having the desire to step in. It's the same thing. And all of the opportunities and all of the relationships and all the connections and all the just everything that you get to experience is equally desiring to have you stepping in and aligning to it as you are excited about stepping in and aligning to it. That like passion and desire and like energy that's fueling you, even the one that's irritating you, it's irritating you because you're in resistance to your higher self. That's the only reason it's irritating you. You're like, fucking, it's not aligned yet. And yet everything that you want is also wanting you. It's basically like what you want wants you. What you're aligning to, what you're wanting to align to is also wanting to align to you. The universe is, yes, abundant, but it is also, what's the right word I want to use for that? It's not so much that it's an abundant universe. Like we know that it's ever expanding. It's like ongoing, right? But the universe is, it always wants to magnetize with like energy. So the more that you can visualize and then move into that vibrational match, the more it'll be like, oh my God, fuck yes, awesome. Let's align her to that shit. Gets really excited about it. Right? As if the universe was a consciousness. Because it is. Shoot. Okay. Okay, here we go. Seeing the true you. What were we talking about? False identity. Reprogram. Get rid of all of the versions of you that are not the true you. You have to be able to see the true you. You can't see the true you if you have all of those layers. It's like looking in a mirror through all of those glasses, all those colored glasses. That's not the true you. Take off the fucking glasses to be able to see the truest, authentic, highest version of you. Seeing the true you. Counting down. Focus on the light. Future vision. Future emotional alignment. Highest version of yourself. Focus on that shit. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Soul Circle every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go download the blueprint. It's a free download on how to write it's the 7 steps on how to write a new love story. There's super fun for anybody who downloads it, right? There's super fun opportunities that are available to work with me and all that fun stuff in there. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Happy holidays. Mwah. Bye, loves. Bye, YouTube.